Here's another round of clinical videos. I am doing my ECG on my site supervisor's dog. She's a very good dog for this. Yes, the blur is kind of horribly placed in this video. Nearly midnight. Please bear with me. So I have white on right, black on left, fronts, and then left hind is red and right hind is green. I did have to run this a couple of times just because the communication between the ECG machine and the computer wasn't the best, but we got it going eventually. I did forget to take pictures, but it is on that screen. There were a couple different lines there. We ran it multiple times. I had to press start again because for some reason the first time I pressed start it did not like the fact that I pressed the button. It was a fun time. She was a very patient dog. She did get a treat after everything we did to her. Here is a picture of the Splint and modified Robert Jones together, and here's me performing the act. She was acting like we broke her leg when we laid her down. She's very dramatic. Loved it. She did really good. Here I am just applying the tape. I do make stirrups at the end of the tape. My site supervisor helped keep it flat because it did not want to stay. Probably would have stayed if I shaved the leg, but I didn't want to do that to her. I'm adding my 2 layers of cast padding. It did make sure to make it flat so that way there was no wrinkles causing any pressure anywhere. It did make sure to double check the tightness the whole way around. Now I'm putting the splint on. They had multiple different sizes of splint. This one fit perfectly on her leg. Between her wrist and her elbow, and I'm just placing 3 pieces of tape to keep it flat and attached to the leg so that way I can apply the other layers of the modified Robert Jones. Looking for all my equipment. I forgot for a second that I had to put the stirrups back up. And for the top layers. Did get a new thing of vet wrap because the ones we had would not have been enough for it. Did make sure to overlap each time by 2/3. Bandage scissors came in handy for this. Loved it. Worked super well. My pen lights that I got for clinicals did not work, however. Not that I really ended up using it at all except for the physical exam. Going back up the leg for the 2 layers. The temperature was good, her foot was sensitive, she didn't really react to a whole lot, but I knew that there was no swelling going on. I mean, she definitely would have preferred that we didn't do this, but she did good. My little completed hands. Okay, this is me going into medication labeling. We were dispensing Albon to a patient, and I wrote up the instructions for it. The instructions were to give 1 ml by mouth twice a day until gone. I believe it's a puppy that was getting a medication. Might be wrong, it was a little while ago that we did this. And then from there we go over and reconstitute the medication. After, of course, we take the label off and take it with us. I'm just getting everything out of the box so that way I make sure that I have everything in there with it. I originally did try to peel the top covering off with my fingers. I do not have fingernails, so it did not go well. Well, I do have fingernails, they're just not long ones. So eventually I did end up using a pen to pop the lid. And then I had to use the pen again to further peel it back so that way I could get my fingers around the lid and peel it off. And this is a 20 ml syringe. We're just filling it up to the 15 line since it required 15 mLs of water. Could just say milliliters, it'd be easier. I have my pinky on the hub to keep it from running out, and then I released it into the bottle. I did use the plunger to push out any excess water just to make sure I got it all in there. While also making sure that I wasn't pushing any powder out. Pulled it apart so it could dry nicely. And then I recapped the bottle, shook it up, and it was ready to go. Of course, after I put the label on it. And then once I got all that ready, I did take it out to the owner, go over the instructions, and they were all set. We did give them some dosing syringes as well, just in case the dropper was not appropriate. This is me getting my blood smears prepped. The blur up in the corner is just because people would walk past there. I would put 1 drop on my slide, very carefully. Oh wait, nope, this is me filling the PCB tubes. Ignore the original comment. I did the modified Robert Jones with this as well, so I had already mixed up all the solution, the solution in the water, not the water, the solution and the blood to get the correct dilution to then put onto the slide. I'm applying 1 drop to the slide, using another slide at a 45-degree angle to push it across. This is my first attempt of this. Took me a little bit to figure out how it would fit in my hand. And it was a fail. I did not have a good feathered edge. I did not have a good shape to it. It just was not a good option. Me contemplating if I could use it, decided I couldn't, so I went to make a new one. My thought process was a little off that day. It's a nice thing that we had like slides above us there at that station to make it easier. Another drop. After a while, it started to drop blood out of PCV. I do believe this one is better if I think about it. Nope, this is also a failed attempt. That was just me looking at my failed attempt in disappointment before I make my 3rd attempt. Triple checking that I was recording because sometimes I forget. That PCB tube had clogged, so now I'm using a new one. Clogged. This one is not as bad. This one was actually a success. A little shorter than I would have liked, but there were no holes. I did get the feathered edge, and I did have a nice shape to it. This is me going and staining my blood slide. Oh wait, no, this was not the modified mount test. Modified mount test I did earlier. Came back negative. Which was nice. Or maybe it was. I don't even remember anymore. It was like 4 weeks ago. I made up separate stains for this, so that way I wasn't contaminating the ones that they had for ear slides. My site manager and the other staff agreed that it would be best for that. I did 10 1-second dips in each of the fixer, solvent, no, not solvent, but the second one's name, and the stain. Rinsing off the back. This is all, of course, after it's already dried to the slide. Then I dried it off and let it dry some more before I read it, and that's the end product.